let's put some music and then we can get started. I would say hip hop. Let's just do lo-fi. Let's chill. Let's chill today. Hey Jola Kim, welcome, welcome. Let's see, where do I, there it is, okay. How, Jola? It's alive. Morning from New Zealand for Mr. Andy Gorman. Welcome back to the street, Mr. Gorman. It has been a minute, hasn't it, since we saw you here. How are you doing? There we go. Toop, 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 toop. So last time I started with some chairs. And I wanna continue with some chair ideas. If anybody, well, the four of you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. This is supposed to be a nice, relaxing, chill sort of time. So, what we were drawing last time, I don't remember who in the stream, but somebody said like it would be cool because we drew that sort of troll, rock troll, whatever I was drawing. It would be cool the way he sits on that house and is ruining it. If you would have a chair that makes you look like you're a giant sitting on a house yourself. And I tried quite a couple of approaches and nothing really worked out. So I want to see if we can do anything with that idea at all, if it could work or not. So I might be quiet for every now and then, just because I notice that I have this tendency of when I'm thinking and drawing, I'm a bit more quiet. So yeah, just so you guys know what's happening here. Last time I tried to do the whole house. I thought this time I'll try maybe with like a cabin looking thing that is like all triangle. Like that could be interesting. Oh, I am a tad quiet. I am so sorry. Let me fix that. Oh, so I really should be a bit louder, but I want to make sure. I want to make sure that you can hear me properly. Sound settings. There we go. Microphone. There. Now I cranked it up even more, so you should hear me much better. Hey Rugai, welcome. And thank you for pointing it out, Jola. I was a bit in my own world there. Okay, so I think I like the basic idea. Is this too dark? It is a bit dark. Let me dig out some. I did not prepare markers for this, so give me a second while I dig up some markers. Ay, 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 ay. Oh wait. Actually, I have an extra monitor here, and underneath that monitor, I should have some markers. Look at that. Somebody forgot about his markers. All right, and I also have these. So let's see what is dried out and what still works. Triangular houses are cool. I agree. I always like them in the they just look cool in the forest. How's the wee one? The wee one is sleeping, hopefully. Like right now I have headphones on, so I can't hear. Yesterday we had a little bit of a hard time falling asleep, so he was crying for quite a bit. So I hope my wife doesn't need to go in and take care of him. In general, he's good. He just switched to the higher grade in kindergarten, so he's with the older kids. He's still not walking, but he's crawling around like a menace. So that's good. Okay, so I am going to. So this is the basic idea what I want to start with, and I'm going to try and round things a bit to make it look like the house is a little bit broken. I wanted to add like armrests, but I don't think that is working. So I'm gonna leave the armrests idea now. Then you hand draw the straightest lines. Well, they're super short. I don't think they deserve your praise. If they were like nice and long lines, I would say like, oh, thank you, Ru. But I feel like drawing short lines straight is a bit cheating. It's a bit easy. Not prepared. You need to plan these live streams better. It's the cherry house. I don't know if you've been here during the last live stream where I drew that rock troll. I think it was Squirrel who said that it would be cool to have a chair that makes you look like a giant sitting on a house. And I like that idea, and I'm still trying to sort of follow up on that. It didn't really work out when I was trying digitally, so I thought let me give this a try working traditionally as well. And yeah, about preparation, honestly, like an hour ago I was thinking, oh, I should just cancel today's because I wasn't feeling it. And then my wife said, yeah, but you might be into it once you start. And then we started watching actually a really, really nice movie that I was into as well, but then I forgot that I wanted to cancel it. I was like, no, since I promised the people that I will be here, and I didn't have enough foresight to cancel it in time, I am going to do this stream. It is all about the pre-movement. It kind of gives the right momentum to the hand. Yeah, I mean, it is also about being forced to draw a million straight lines during uni by our drawing instructors. Like the boring just connect dots that I was trying to teach people in my videos. I just did a whole bunch of those. And yeah, it helps. One would think it is just nonsense, but it does help. Short of long, my hand-drawn lines look like fuzzy reeds. I mean, I have those as well. I'm trying to force myself to draw those as well. Andy, turning the paper to best get the line straight works as well. I mean, I have yeah, exactly. So this is my most comfortable way of drawing. So that's why you see me constantly turning the paper. Like sometimes I try not to do it because I want the video to be a bit smoother, or I'm trying to do a drawing where I don't care about straight lines as much. But the whole point of this is to do industrial design type sketching, and then I want that style that's in my head to work. Okay, Jolo, your drawings remind me of a scrap builder who likes to make watercolor painting of the model before building it. His drawings are a bit more loose, but he's confident with his line work like you. Shingles as padding on the chair. So I thought that this would be like fake wood, honestly, like not real wood. The idea was that yeah, it's a fabric that is made to assemble or look like it would be wood, but the idea is that it's not. Let's see if this is a bit overly saturated, which it might be. So I'm just gonna use it a little bit for highlights here and there. Tell me if the brightness is not good enough. I will turn on the lights on the camera. But right now we still get a bit of light from the sun, so I'm expecting that it should be still good. I still don't know. I'm still not convinced that this idea is a viable one. But maybe I just turn it into drawing houses because now I'm into it. It is fine to be an IPS LED monitor. All right. Oh, Andy is watching on the iPad. Are you pulling me on the side and drawing while you're watching / listening, Andy? That is the correct way of watching these streams, just so you know. And I've got my A4 paper and pen right next to me following along as well. Oh, nice. Well, I'm not drawing at the moment, so... What are you doing, Jola? It is 9 in the evening. It is drawing time. It is officially drawing time. Let me look up some tiny house reference on the side. Tiny house. Bum ba ba bum ba ba bum. Bum ba ba bum bum bum. Tiny houses are very modern. Like, you would not recognize it as a house if I go with a very modern house. I feel like you want fairy tale house. Ay, 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 ay. I might also just do some proper chairs instead of mucking about it. This. Oh, 6:45 a.m. here. You got some very morning person energy, Andy. Are you retired or are you still working? Because I'm not sure if it's a forgivable offense if you're retired and you still wake up at this time. But also, I'm just running my mouth. I'm a morning person. Before we had the little one who tired me out, I very often woke up between 6 and 7. It was almost my regular schedule of waking up. By the way, don't be surprised if we're gonna have a couple of not so fantastically good drawings or ideas. I tend to follow a rule in my head where I just want to get all ideas on paper, especially the bad ones as well, just so my brain can get a little bit of alleviation and just have some new ideas in it, some space for new ideas. So that's why sometimes you will just see random stuff just because I want to get rid of some of these ideas that just keep on coming back. 2:49 p.m. USA. Just chilling right now, says Jola. Life is changing and I have to plan things. I've started to how to not sell out. Share the beauty of origami online. Oh, that's nice. You're into origami. That's pretty cool, man. Andy's still working. Turned 54 last week. Happy birthday, Mr. Gorman. Ay, there's the baby. Oh, that doesn't sound good. But yeah, happy birthday. I usually start work at 5:30. Wow, that is early. Ay. What if you want to share what sort of work you're doing? You don't have to. You maybe already did as well. It's just my memory is getting worse and worse apparently. So don't take it as an insult if I don't remember. If you shared it already. I had one of those jobs back when I was young. Early to bed, early to rise. I remember when I was in Germany for my internship, I had to be at the bus at 6:15, and the bus was a good 45-minute walk away from where I was sleeping, which means that I woke up at 5:15. I had a quarter an hour to quickly eat something, brush my teeth, and just get out of the house. Clearly, I did not shower in the morning. I was an evening showerer, and now I'm more a morning shower, but I still prefer evening. But yeah, I'm familiar with that as well. I might be on duty soon. Yeah, we do a thing that since I am more the morning person, I take the baby from 5 onwards usually in the morning, or if it's too difficult at the night, then I try to jump in, just because I function with less sleep as well, and my wife needs a bit more sleep. That's why I write things down, clearing things. Oh yeah, you did say that you do journaling. Yeah. Yeah, my wife started doing that as well now. To clear her head out a little bit. She has issues falling asleep quickly enough. And I'm like, I guess I'm like my father. I just put down my head and I'm out pretty quickly. She tries now with the journaling before going to bed. Hopefully that will help. Andy, I deliver groceries for a local supermarket. It's not a great job, but pays the bills. I try to keep my sanity. Hey man, that's perfect. Like I always say, just work is work. Like of course I am privileged that I can also draw for work, but it's also not related to anything that I do on YouTube or Instagram. So as long as you can stand it and you have free time to do a little bit of drawing here and there, I think it's perfect. Just trying to explore some ideas. This is the part of design that, yeah, I don't know, like I just have this urge of creating, for example, every now and then a new piece of furniture, but technically it's not sustainable because nobody needs a new piece of furniture. Like, we don't really need a new car. You don't really need a new version of this or that. We need it in a couple of years when there's like proper technological advancements, but we really don't need furniture-wise. And yet, I just enjoy the shape of furniture very much, playing with it. It's a bit too leaning backwards. Therapeutic drawing is really cool and lovely. I agree. I myself have I think a couple of those, actually, not just one. Coloring books for grown-ups, but then I end up not really using them just because I have to do a lot of coloring for work, where I like fill in little areas, and that is therapeutic. Wow, that was some accent there. Therapeutic in itself. Oh, I like this. This has some potential. Yes. Look at that. Okay. Let's see what we can do with that. So we have the backrest. Okay, actually, let me switch to a gray. Oh, that's so horrible. My father does the same. He just lays down and starts sleeping, and then you lay there being jealous. It's funny because, like, I didn't think I fall asleep. I was always jealous of my dad because he did the same. Like, he sat down in his couch, because dads have their favorite spot. Well, not couch. He had an armchair, but he sat down in his armchair, and then he was out. And I was like, I don't know how I can do that. But apparently, at least according to my wife, I do the same exact thing. So I guess I'm like my old man. Hey, Jola, when I was a kid, I usually played imaginary scenarios in my head. And when it got totally madness, I hushed away the thoughts, and my brain was dead tired. Hushing away thoughts is a superpower. I agree, that is a super. It is difficult to hush them away. Adirondack? Adirondack. How do you pronounce that? Maybe if you took at new furniture as a sort of art piece or a sculpture, that is interesting to look at this, but also functional. Yeah, it could be. Do I draw digital art? Yes. I would say 80% of for work I only do digital, and 80% of the time here on the channel I also do digital. But it's been a while since I did some old school traditional industrial design type sketching. So that's what we're doing now. Okay, now I like this shape. The question is, how do we connect that? Oh, this is brown. We do not want to draw with brown. Like father, like son. Yeah, that is how these things turn out many times, don't they? Let's do some projection. And I don't mean my feelings. I think this could be a little bit neater. There we go. So that would go there, that goes there. Then we would have the backrest there. And then here would be that back part, okay? And then of course, let's not forget about the area that we're actually sitting on. I feel like now I'm coming a little bit, I should go higher with the whole business needs to go a little bit higher, like that. See, that is a bit better because it needs to be a bit shorter. All right, let's give this some black lines. Let's see actually what I'm talking about here. Boop. All right. There's one triangle. And then we would have the other one. And I said we bring the seating arrangement area a little bit higher. Something like that. So sometimes you draw something like this and it looks good from the side, and then when you translate it into 3D, that's when things start to break down. But at least you're like exploring. Maybe connect the parts. Yeah, that's why I'm leaving it empty, because it will need some steel rods for the connection. I just haven't figured out exactly how I want to do that. But I also like, it's no sense, like this looks very not good to me. So I don't think like this necessarily works. Just a bit edgy. So I'll go back to a bit of exploration. Sure, is it a bit extreme, but how about tensegrity chair? Tensegrity, I hope I wrote it right, you know? When it looks like chain keeps you upright. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. That thing breaks my brain. I would love to do that, but that thing just really breaks my brain. I cannot with that. I think those are super cool. I'm trying to play a bit with negative space. Whereas so we have this here. And we have a little bit of opening there. And this opening sort of continues here with the wood, so we sort of have a play on the negative space. I feel like this would probably tilt forward very easily. But actually I want to 10 seconds. I want to look that up. I never knew that that's the word for it. Yeah, exactly what you said. Yeah, it's crazy because it looks just absurd that it's floating in the air. Just looking at this, how. So tell us more about your origami, Jola. What sort of, do you want to sell them? Do you just want to teach? What do you have in mind with your origami stuff? So I'm taking this, what we have here. I like this triangle. So I like triangle as a basis there. I think that's pretty okay. I don't see how armrests would work in such a setup. Okay, so somewhere there. Tadai. Every line has their own vanishing point. Not just supposed to be parallel, is that right? I just start drawing. Yes. So it's advanced steps, right? It's next step. So how we learn about perspective is that we have, usually, if this is our horizon line, we have two vanishing points, right? And then if we draw something, in this case, I draw a cube, then all the lines of my cube are going to go to these vanishing points. Now, when you start learning, you talk about 2-point perspective, which is this. Which, if you look at it correctly, or correctly, closely, I mean, these lines, they're not parallel. But these lines, where's my light brown? Bloop! This line, this line, this line, and this line, they are parallel. Now, a 3-point perspective makes these also converge in a vanishing line. So then your cube would a bit look more something like this. And then everything, like these lines, converge into a vanishing point somewhere down there. Then we're gonna have a vanishing point somewhere there, and another vanishing point somewhere here. Now, the closer you are to this cube, the more you can almost use parallel lines. You also can go into orthogonal perspective. I don't know what that perspective is called, where everything is parallel. So the closer you get to it, the more. And here you want to always, sorry about that, you want to keep your vanishing points far apart. Otherwise, you're gonna get very squished, not realistic looking things. You could see that in old video games. Quake is an example that I like giving. Yeah, there's always a middle point and that chain does all the work. The others are just for stabilizing in that construction that we're talking about. Well, I want to make videos about figures, but first I have to find the sweet spot about complexity and simple solutions. Overcomplicating is never good. It's hard like this. I feel like when you understand something well, you might have a tendency to overcomplicate. At least I know that I do. And I totally understand what you're saying, that you need to find the sweet spot. Especially when you're doing explanation videos, it's important to keep it simple. I use my phone with Droid Cam so I can show the close shots, so too if needed. Comics like to show tall buildings with 3-point perspective to give it more sense of height. Exactly, so that 3-point perspective does make things look a little bit more dramatic. There we go. I see better like this. No, I didn't miss anything. Don't you worry about it, Drew. Triangular anime girls is what you missed, according to Kim. Wow, this is much darker than I thought. It says only CG3, but holy moly. What is it then? 1 gray 5. This is CG1, okay. Jola. Ooh, the design is really cool. Now, if you add some mechanism to the fixing point, you can make a rocking chair with stable legs. Oh! Andy, right now Rue is scrolling back through the timeline to find those girls. Today, thank you for explaining. By the way, do you usually rotate the paper when drawing digital art, or do you usually zoom? I zoom and rotate. Like, this is my most comfortable way of drawing lines. So the exercise that I tell everybody is you put down 2 dots and you try and connect them. You hover a couple of times above in the air and then you draw a connecting line. Now, technically you're supposed to be able to do this from any direction. I missed it there. But for me, the most comfortable is this. Like most of the time I can hit the 2 dots pretty well and I get a pretty straight line. So to get this motion, like when I want to draw a cube, I'm going to rotate the paper in a way so my hand only has to do this motion and nothing else. And with that, I managed to do pretty much quite okay straight lines. That's why I do that. You're so amazing. You decided you should never witness. Yeah, exactly, man. Triangular anime girls. That's it. Okay, so if we listen to Jola, now if we have this triangle here, if we put the pivot point here and the chair goes like that, I feel if we would put what is it in cars, it's called a shock. Rugo. Like, it doesn't come to my mind. Whatever the wheels need to make it less bouncy or softer bouncy. I think that would be a worthwhile rocking chair. Springs, but it's not called springs. It's called, yeah, spring, but the whole thing, it's called something else when it's installed in a car. Shock absorber? No, not shock absorbers. Well, anyways, I'm pretty sure everybody understands what I'm saying. But then you would have joint there. Shock absorbers, yeah. But it's not a lot of shock that you would get out of a rocking chair. But I do like what you said there. So because we pivot here, this is our pivot point. So what can happen? I did have I have colored pencils. No, these are charcoal. What on earth? What on earth? Add some color markers somewhere here. Why do I never know what's where? Come on. Give me a minute, guys. Give me 1 minute. Well, I didn't find the markers, but I found my colored pencils. And we will take a nice and blue one. So which means that our chair would come down to this position, and then this is where our shock absorbers would stop it. So you sort of have this leaning thing going. Dampeners is good, I guess. Dampeners. All right. What are those? Okay, so let's do one more from the back, just because why not? And I think we might also call the episode here. I call it an episode now. Jesus, the live stream might end here. So if you have any specific requests, questions, please fire off now. Okay, so their job is to dampen spring oscillation. Okay, there we go. That sounds better than shock absorption. Although I know they are called shocks as well. let's just add a, well, no, I do not want to add the hydraulic one because that will not bounce back. So we do want to stick with the spring-loaded one. Although that aesthetically is not pretty, but I guess because this is a very early first concept sketch, we don't have to worry about what it looks like. So like we can use something like that later on. We can make it prettier, but for now that's fine. So, and here is our pivot point. Yeah, I like that. That is a good idea, Jola. Thank you. Any questions? Then what is the answer to life, the universe? 42, I agree. I agree with Mr. Gorman. Someone thought that the Tutti Frutti syrup is a good thing. It's like an energy drink without caffeine. I like to sometimes experiment with things. There are 3 types of springs: coil, torsion bar, and leaf. I know coil, I know leaf. To look up torsion bar. I've seen all 3 used in fixed rocking chairs. Okay, look at that. Today I'd like to draw a comic character or any anime like everyone does, but I'm afraid to draw without strong fundamentals, so I keep drawing cube, boxed, rotate, and keep watching these. Any suggestion? I mean, okay, let's pause this here and let's switch to our little digital Photoshop thing. Let's do a quick demo. Where is, there it is. And then I turn on displays on. Bam! There we go. I just need to put an overlay back. There we go. All right. So just to do a quick anime character, you will see how these boxes and all these things can be helpful to you. Let's just do Naruto. If I do action pose. Let me turn off this light here because it's a bit bothering me. Shooba booba booba, and there is my thing. I bet this is some tiny picture, isn't it? Image a new tab. No, this is not bad. Okay, copy image. Alright, let's take a look at this. This is our Naruto characters, right? Something like that. And then let's concentrate on this guy here. And then what we want to do is identify, as you said, the boxes and whatnot. So if I bring down the opacity a little bit, I try to find his pelvis, would be something like that, right? And then his 2 legs are 1 cylinder there, and the other cylinder would be somewhere there with another cylinder there. And then of course the foot would be just something, so basically another rectangle. And then for the torso, I usually don't split it up into, but now we can just do this, and then he has a squishy bit here, the belly, we don't worry about that now. And then he has one arm and another arm, and same thing here, another arm there, and then he has hands, and then he has a head. So this is our character. So basically when I draw that, I see this in my mind. So I'm going to draw his upper body like I did before. Then we have a bit of a squishy area. Then I try to make sure to put his pelvis there. Then I know that he has one leg here, right? The other leg goes somewhere behind it, there, like, it is good to draw out like you did there. And then the arms are relatively simple because you really just do those cylinders. And then from here on out, you're just having fun and you're just refining. So let me do this. Actually, let me move both, and then I move this back here and make it a little bit bigger. And keep in mind, I'm not really a character drawing person. I specialize on everything but characters. And I don't mean characters but, I mean I'm more of a mechanical guy. So drawing character was never my strength, really. So this would be the hand. And then we have the folds in the clothing. And then he sort of catches air. His jacket. And then we have this jacket here that is open. Oh, music stopped. What is this? How dare you? How dare you, sir? We need to listen to music. He had this part of his clothing. And then, yeah, we have basically from here on out, it's just you do a bunch of drapery, clothing studies, see how those work out, and just try to apply them over your 3D shapes. And then my arch nemesis, drawing faces, I'm not even gonna try too much. It's just not something that works for me. Especially enemy faces, as we all know, it's just not gonna work for me. And of course we have the ear there. Yeah, so as you can see, I do use squares and ellipses and rectangles, 0. So this goes there and then that goes there. And then the rest is just coloring and filling in the shapes. But yeah, just I would say continue with until you feel more comfortable, and every now and then just do a study, like look at whatever your favorite character is and try to draw it, see how it comes out, and try to analyze what went wrong. Try to see how can you make the thing that went wrong go better next time. All right. Toshibar is using the actual flexibility from material. You make a shaft and try to rotate only one end. The material will
serve the data so you can choose what kind of. Okay. Mikey Mega drawing cute anime girls. Okay, we'll have to look him up. I also saw a really fun explanation about the torso and pelvis. Just draw a bean that has one end bigger than the other. Yeah, so you mean this one, right? This, and then this would be the chest area, and then this would be the legs. Yeah, that works as well. I like to put a square for the torso, for the pelvis, because that dictates me how I will have to rotate the character. So if we look here as well, so this tells me quite a lot. I don't know, I think I saw it, Tom Fox does this, Tom Fox draws. It helps a lot in positioning the rest of the character. I really like using that for pelvis. Proco is a good, he does the same, I think Proco does the same. And Modern Day James, also very good at this sort of thing. You watch Robert for Robots and just relax. He stopped doing tutorials a couple. I will do tutorials again, I need some headspace with the baby. Alright, ladies and gents, we learned a little bit, we drew some houses, some chairs. I hope everybody had a good time. I hope you drew along. If you didn't, hope you enjoyed it. But the important thing is that you folks have a great time. And yes, see you in the next video. Until then, keep on sketching. Goodbye, everyone.